Conversations with Kris and Katie. I am Katie, the founder of Elevate Online, joined today by Kris, the founder of Evergreen Leadership, and together we created Leap to help others start and grow their consulting businesses swiftly, smartly, and with support. Today, we are continuing our series on 4 ways to increase your revenue as a consultant with our way number 2, and that is to find strategies to reduce your non-billable time. So Kris, in order to find those strategies, what really is the first step in reducing that non-billable time that you might have as a consultant?
Yes, and this will be an eye-opening exercise. It is for me every single time I do it. And in order to figure out where to plug those holes or where you have opportunities to stop bleeding time or leaking time, you got to track where you actually are spending your time. How much of it is billable, how much of it is client, how much of it is doing other things, and not just, it's not just binary, like this is billable and this is not. Keep track of what you're doing in that non-billable time. Is it social media? Is it back office stuff? Is it building relationships? Is it marketing? Is it looking for work? So be pretty granular about doing that. There's some tools out there that can help you do it. You can do the good old paper and pencil. You can keep your calendar and print it out and color code it, but start to understand where you are losing, where you are using your time. And then you can start to categorize it and you'll start to see patterns appear. But, we know that there are some pretty typical patterns of places where we end up spending more time than we should, or where we've got opportunities to improve. Katie, what are the patterns that you see most typically?
Yeah, so as you are looking at your calendar and seeing these different areas that you've outlined, the way to find strategies to address that is to understand what kind of problem you're coming up against. And some common problems people might face is that they actually have billable hours that they're doing, but it is something that they can't command as high of a market rate in. And so they're spending so much time doing something for a client that they can't charge as much for, or even doing client work that they aren't charging for, which is another thing. And so you might be able to bring in subcontractors to take some of those more granular tasks on that you don't like doing, or even to help you get through some of those tasks that you aren't billing for a little bit more quickly, and you can charge for them as well. So that's one area we see. And also, I know we've seen people put significant amount of time into their networking and marketing, where at some point they're not getting that return on it in terms of being able to turn that into a client engagement and get those billable hours. So if you're seeing, wow, I am spending a significant amount of my week networking and it's not resulting in the things that I want, how is it that you can find more efficient marketing systems or do better, more strategic networking in order to reduce that amount of time that you're putting into it? We also have seen people invest time in polishing their work to the point that they are spending more time on it than they really should be, given what they are charging for it. And so if you have reached the point where you are just going over a client deliverable again and again and again, and it's cutting into your margins, it might be time for you to take a step back, ask yourself why you're doing that, and realize at some point it's got to be good enough to go to the client. So just the act of tracking your calendar, I think, really will bring to light the areas where you can reduce that non-billable time, because more billable hours, more revenue, you're going to find yourself in a better place that you want to be. So with that, that is our way number 2 for increasing your revenue. Keep watch for our next 2 ways to increase your revenue. And if you want more free or paid resources to help you launch or grow your consulting business, check out what we have for you here.